I'm Deborah Barker, and this is Adaptive Chair Yoga. So if you're new to chair yoga, I'll give you a few little things to think about. If you are a regular, welcome again, and you can use this recorded program whenever you want to, if there's a reason that you can't come to class. So we're going to start off just sitting back comfortably in a chair. If you can, you want a chair without arms. You could use a dining room chair if you don't have a folding chair. And then I put the chair on a mat just so that it's nice and safe. You may want to put it on a carpet or a rug. Just the primary thing is you don't want the chair to be slipping or moving because this is going to be support. So we will start sitting down. We'll do a number of things to warm up our joints, and then we will also do some standing. So I'll try to cue different things that you can do. If you can't stand up, then hopefully you can do some modifications when you're sitting down. So, as I said, let's take a deep breath and first just relax. So we're going to begin and end the class this way. This is our Shavasana, and just close your eyes. You can put your hands on your lap if that's comfortable. And we're just going to relax all your muscles. So this is just a transition from your busy day to sort of get into a yoga mindset. So this hour is just for you. Just focus on your breath. And this is a time just to be focused on your body. You're not doing anything for anybody else. I'll give you a couple seconds of silence. When you're ready, just open your eyes, wiggle your toes, fingers, and just sort of wake up the body. So we're going to start with some breathing exercises because breathing is fundamental to yoga. Typically, we breathe in when we're preparing for a movement, and we breathe out when we do the work of the movement. It's not true for everything, but that's kind of a general rule. And I'll try to cue you as much when we're holding a pose. I'll say things like keep moving. The other thing that is absolutely crucial is posture, alignment in yoga. So the most important thing, people ask me, how do I know if I'm doing a position right? The way that you know is if you are in proper alignment. So you want your ears over the shoulders, over the hips, and you want your knees over your ankles so you have a nice 90-degree bend in the legs. And we're going to sit up nice and tall, pulling that belly button into the spine. So I'll give you a lot of body cues. Some may work, some may not, but hopefully there'll be some that work for at least everybody. So just one nice cleansing breath, and I like to use the hands. So we're going to start off breathing into a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for a second at the top and exhale. 2, 3, 4. We'll do that again. 2, 3, 4. And as you come down and push out the air, maybe pull the belly button into the spine. Get all the air out of the lungs. Now we're going to do it 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. And once again, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll go up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, and if this doesn't work for you, just do whatever does. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Just shake everything out. So this time we're not going to count, but we're going to use our arms again as a way to think about inhaling and exhaling. So if you want to have your palms facing the ceiling, let's just do a nice big inhale. Bring the arms up overhead. When you get to the top, you can look up at your hands, and now reverse the arms and think push down, like you're pushing through molasses as you get rid of all the breath. Let's do that again. Nice big inhale all the way to the top, and exhale, pushing through the air all the way down. And let's do that again with our inhale, and press down with our exhale. Good. So hopefully you start to get that feeling. So we're going to do some neck circles. These are something I do every time because I think they're so good for the neck. So we're going to imagine that you have a pencil coming out of the top of your head, and you're going to draw a little circle, like a piece of paper right here, or you can imagine drawing a circle on the ceiling. So it's a nice, small, gentle circle. We're lubricating the joints of the neck. You can make it a little bigger if that feels good. And let's reverse it. So let's start small circles. And if it feels good to make them a little larger, this is very gentle though. We're always careful with the neck. Excellent. So now we're going to imagine we have a pencil coming out of our nose, and we're going to draw a little circle right in front of us. Nice small circle, lubricating the neck. And if it feels good to make it bigger, you can do that. And now let's reverse and start small. And you can stay small, or you can expand. Excellent. And come back to center. So one of the things we want to remember about adaptive yoga is that you want to always start small, and if you're getting a good stretch, then you stay there. If you feel if we're doing work on the muscles and you feel it, then you stay there. I will show you progressions, but you never want to do a progression if you don't need to. If you're getting a good stretch, stay where you are. So let's do some more head movement. So we're going to look to the right and maybe just look at the corner starting off, and then center, corner, center, corner, center, corner, center. Let's do that again if you want to try to relax a little bit more to open it up. This could be a place where our neck really gets tight. Come back to the center. And rather than stretching, we're relaxing into the movements. Relax those neck muscles as you look to the side. We hold a lot of tension in our necks. And so now let's do some tilts. So we're going to tilt to the right. And you can bring your arms out for an extra little stretch here. Be sure and breathe. And come back to center. Inhale, tilt again, this time to the left. And bring the arm out. And that should feel good. And come back in. So remember, that's your own little test. If you feel any twinges, come out of it. If you feel pain, stop doing it. Everything we do in here should feel good. So that's how you can test whether or not you're doing too much or too little. All right, we're gonna work on the shoulders now, and we're gonna bring the arms out, and we're gonna work on internal and external rotation of the arms. So first we're gonna bring the shoulders in, and you can see the hands turn, and then we're gonna open it up and in, and the shoulders come up towards the ears, external, and they go down the back. Internal and external. Excellent. So let's bring that to the front and do the same thing. So we're going to go in and out. It's like you're turning on the faucets. Internal, the shoulders come in. External, the shoulders go out. Internal, external. Internal, external. Great. So now bring the arms down. We're going to do the same thing. This is going to be a more subtle movement than having the arms up or out. So we're going to turn in and out. Again, we're opening those faucets. In, out, and in, and out. So let's stay here on this external rotation. And this is how we want to stand in our posture. So you've got your your shoulders externally rotated. Now just let the arms come back to normal and keep that gentle external rotation. Now sometimes when we do this, there's a tendency to push the chest out. So we don't want to do that. Think about bringing the ribs in. So you're externally rotating, bringing the ribs in, and sitting up nice and tall. So this is the posture that we want to have. And then one more thing is bring that belly button to the spine so that we're engaging the core. And I'll say that a lot as a cue because one thing we don't want to do, we don't want to ever put pressure or weight in the lower back. So that's why using your core and engaging your core is so important. So our neck, our shoulders, our back, our knees, we're going to be really careful and mindful of how we use that. And that brings us to cat-cow. So in cat-cow, we're going to do that external, or the internal and external. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. But we're going to exaggerate it a little bit, and we're going to bring it into the upper back. So this time when we come internal, it's as though somebody has a string and they're pulling it out here. So you're going to internally, you're going to tuck your neck in, and then externally you're going to open up the chest and have a slight bend, like somebody has a string here, and you're opening up your chest to the sun. So let's take a nice inhale, exhale as we internally rotate. Breathe in as you externally rotate, open your heart to the sun. So this is our cat position, you're arching the back. This is our cow position, we're opening up to the sun. So do a couple more of those in your own time. So you might exhale as you rotate in and tuck. Inhale as you open out. So we're really trying to do this in the upper part of the back, not so much in the lower part. So this is our cat-cow. And we're keeping our hands here because, again, we don't want to take the cat position into the lower back. All right, perfect. So let's come back. Now we're gonna do something. We all sit at the computer. Our shoulders do have a tendency to go like this, so we're going to work on a few more arm exercises to counteract that. So the first is we're going to bring our arms up into a Y. Nice deep breath. We'll bring them down to our sides and back up and down and up and down And this time on the up, leave it here. So in this position, get into your posture, belly button in, lower ribs in. And now you're gonna relax the arms back just a little. Only as far as they'll relax back, and you can keep your torso absolutely still. And let's bring it down. Let's try that one more time. All the way up, so your belly button is in, everything else is nice and still, and you're relaxing, not straining the hands back a little. So we're just getting a nice stretch. Everything else is stationary. And bring that down. All right, let's try it with a T. So our arms are out. We're going to bring them in. Get a little bit of movement here. Wake up. Shoulder joints. So this time, leave them open. Make sure everything's pulled in. Nice deep breath. And relax the arms straight back. Try not to lift the shoulders. And only go back as far as you can comfortably. When you get to that position, see if you can flex your wrists. And let's bring it back. And let's do that one more time. Pull everything up nice and tight. And relax the arms back and flex. Only if this is comfortable. Remember, any pain, stop doing it. And we'll bring it in. Good, and you may start to feel that. We're working the shoulders and the upper arms here too. Now we're gonna come into our cactus arms, and we're gonna go up. So we have those 90-degree arms up, and up. And then stay here, and the same thing. We're gonna see if you can relax the arms back a little bit. And then let's go up, a little more movement, and now the same thing. Just relax. Only bring the arms back as far as is comfortable. And let's bring it down, shake that out, and come back into our cactus arms. And this time, we're gonna try to just hinge at the elbows. So everything else stays absolutely stationary. And we're just going to hinge at the elbow. Excellent. And then lower down again, shake that out. And this time we're going to try to bring the elbows as close into the body as we can. And then we're not going to have a break in the wrist. So the forearm's going to be nice and straight. Nice deep breath in, and then open up, relax. So I can only go back maybe an inch. There's not a lot of movement here. So let's bring it in, and let's try that again. So we open it up. Nice deep breath in, and then just relax and see whether or not you can bring the arm back, the forearm back a little bit further. Great. Shake that out. So let's do another stretch. We're going to bring the right arm over. How do I want to do that? Yeah, right arm over left. We're going to give ourselves a hug. Maybe move that around. So we want to feel a nice stretch in the back. So you may want to make that a deeper stretch. Now, if this feels good, stay here. If this is your, I like to think of yoga as medicine. We want to take the lowest dose, so if this dose works. If you're not getting enough of a stretch, you can bring your elbows together. If this hurts at all, then you can bring them out. And we're just going to go up and down. If you're still doing this, you can do a slight movement with the arms crossed or with the elbows together. So this should be a comfortable stretch, but a good stretch. So let's cross those arms again and over our chest, and maybe come out a little bit. Make sure your feet are nice flat on the floor. Pull that belly button in. And what we're going to do, I'm going to turn sideways again so you can see. This is for the core. We don't want to use the lower back at all. So take a nice deep breath in, pull that belly button, and then we're gonna hinge with our back absolutely straight and just maybe come back about an inch and make sure you feel that in your core and not your back. And then come up straight. Nice deep breath in. Exhale as you lean back. Back to center. Inhale. And exhale as you lean back. You might touch your abs. Make sure that that's what you're working. We don't want to work the lower back here. And back up to sitting. Excellent. All right, let's shake everything out. Let's do a little side stretch. So we're gonna put the right hand, I never like to grab the knee, so we're gonna put it just above the knee and lift up that left arm, and we're gonna go up, and we're gonna go over just gently. And we want our arm over our ear. Take a nice deep breath in and out here. And this should be, you're just opening up the side ribs. This should be a nice stretch. So you don't want to lean forward and you don't want to lean back. Straight over the body. And let's come back up. And now we're going to do a twist. So leave your hand here. You're going to take the left hand and put it on your lower back just for protection. And we're going to do a gentle twist. So this is our first twist. So you want to relax into it. And don't try to go all the way. And we'll do a twist at the end, so you'll have an opportunity after you're all warmed up to do this. Maybe come to the center. Breathe in, exhale, gentle twist. Excellent. So let's do the other side now. So you're bringing the left arm to the left knee. And we're going to bring the arm up, up, and over, straight over. Using this hand for leverage. Shouldn't feel any twinges anywhere. How to pull that shoulder down. We don't want it way up. Excellent. And now we're going to do our twist. So you can put your hand on your back, and we'll do a gentle twist towards the right. Make sure you're still breathing in and out. And let's come back to center and do that one more time. Nice gentle stretch. Excellent. And come back. All right, now we're going to work on the feet and ankles. And we'll also be inadvertently working on the quads. So we're going to do a lot of this with our legs straight. Actually, I'll start on the right. If that's not available, you can use your hands to hold your leg up. Give it a try, see how much you can do so you can come in and out of it. You could try a few and then grab again. So what we're first gonna do is just some nice slow rolls with the ankle, just to warm up. The ankles are our sort of first line of defense for balance and making sure we don't fall. Let's reverse that. Nice and slow. And then we're going to flex and point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point, and lower. Great. And remember, keep that belly button in. Don't let this go into your back. If you need some support, you can also hold on to the chair. So again, we're going to do nice, slow circles. You might hear my ankles popping. Nice and slow and gentle. And then we'll go the other way. So you may be feeling this in the quads. Flex. Point, flex, and point, flex, and point, flex, and point. Great. So now we're going to do a little something with the toes. So come up on your toes and just maybe lean forward a little bit, putting just a little weight into the toes to stretch those. When we stand, we'll be coming up on the toes, so this is a little practice for that. And then see, if you can, fold your toes under and you're going to stretch the upper part of your feet. If this is uncomfortable, don't do it. You can just continue stretching with your toes flexed, but this is a nice one. So we are stretching the whole upper part of the calf as well as the toes. And back flat. Maybe sit a little forward, put a little weight into the feet, and I want you to try to lift all your toes and spread them out. I'll do it with my hands too, just to sort of demonstrate. And now what we're going to try to do is put the big toe down first and go toe by toe. And that may not work, right? So let's bring all the toes up again and spread them, and now try to come back the other way. Little toe, and bring each toe down till you bring the last one, the big toe. So let's flex and lower, flex, lower the toes, flex and lower. All right, that's great. Now let's move into some marches. So we're gonna get into our big muscles. And let's start just by coming up on our toes, a gentle march. If this works for you, you may wanna stay here. If you feel like you have enough strength, again, you don't wanna use your lower back here. So you can put your hands back for support, pull in the belly button. And then if you can bring the knees up. And we're coming down toes and then ball of the foot and heel. So we're going through the foot. So we're getting a little work with the feet as well as working the core. This is a great one for the core, as well as working the quads. Great. All right, shake that out. Do a little windshield wiper to loosen up those hips. So we're going to start on the right and just let your leg open and close. Nice and gentle. And then let's try the other side. Getting a little blood into the hips, a little circulation. And now if you can do this without using the lower back, pull the core in, you can do both. Or you can do them together in the opposite direction. And we're just getting some movement in here. If you have arthritis in your hips, this can be a good idea before you try to stand or use the hips, just to get them warmed up, get those joints nice and lubricated. Okay, great. Let's stand up, and we're gonna use our chair in a couple ways, but I'm gonna turn it to the right so that you can see what I'm doing. And we're gonna use the top of the chair, and this time for support. If you're at home and you would prefer to use a wall, you can do that as well. So, we worked on our posture when we're sitting down. Now we're gonna do it while we're standing. So we're gonna have feet about hip width apart, and this is mountain pose. And we're gonna pull everything up. So imagine you have a string on the arches of your feet, and you're gonna pull that, and everything is gonna be nice and straight. Belly button to the spine. Your tailbone is going straight down, ears over shoulders, over hips, over knees, over ankles. So remember, externally rotate, bring in the hips, and just take a couple of breaths standing here in mountain pose. There are a number of poses in yoga where it looks like we're not doing anything, but if you're really standing up nice and straight, if you're pulling those abs in, you're doing a lot of work here. All right, now we're gonna do a full body stretch. So we're gonna bring that right arm up, and we're gonna just put a little extra weight into the right foot so that the idea here is that we don't want to be moving the hips a lot. We want to try to keep those as stationary as we can, so just a tiny movement, a little more weight here. We're going to bring that right arm up, grab it with our left arm, and we're going to do the same thing we did sitting, up and over, like a cascading waterfall. Just a nice opening here in the side. And let's come back up. Come back into your mountain pose. Everything nice and tall and straight. Let's do it on the left side. So a little extra weight in the left foot. Grab that arm. And when we go to the right, everything else below the waist, we want that to be stationary. Nice deep breath in and out. And in and out. Great. And come back down. And now we'll work a little bit on those toes again. So we're going to try coming up on the toes, and so I'll turn to the side so you can see. You might only come an inch off the floor, and if that's good for you, so we're working on balance here as well as working on flexibility in the toes and strength in the arches. So you might just see as you do this, you can play with your balance as well as playing with how high, but the one thing you don't want to do is fall. So you want to be very gentle here. Let's come back, both feet on the ground. This time what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice gentle bend in the knees. Look down, you should be able to see your toes. So we don't ever want the knee coming past the toes. That puts too much strain on the knee. I'll stay to the side here so you can see. So we're going to do a nice stretch. It's a good stretch for the back of your calves. You should feel that. Look down, see your toes. Standing, everything else should be nice and straight. And then let's try rising up on the toes, if that is available, and then back down. Up and down, up and down, up and down, belly button in and down. Great. So let's do a little more stretch on that calf. So I've got my left foot back, right foot forward, and just put a little pressure. You can put a slight bend here and a little pressure into the heel of the leg that's back. Don't lock the knee though. Have it be, someone call it soft or a micro bend. You never want to lock the knee. It's not really supposed to go in that direction. So take a couple of breaths here. And again, rather than pushing into it, relax into it. Relax that calf. See if you can get the heel to the ground. Excellent. So let's come back up, switch feet. And here you want to make sure that the hips are pointing directly in front of you. Sometimes when we stand in these open positions, we can open up a hip. We don't want to do that. You want your hips to be absolutely pointing in the same direction, pointing ahead. And take some nice deep breaths in and out, relax into that stretch. And let's come back up to standing, and now we're going to do donkey kicks. So this is, we worked on the quads, now we're going to work on the hamstring. So I'm going to start on my right leg, and you want a nice 90-degree bend in the leg, and you want your feet flexed, and now you're just going to punch the wall behind you. Gentle. This is a small movement, and you want to keep the hips absolutely level and pointing forwards, and you want to feel this in the hamstring. So it's a nice, it's small but powerful. So the idea is not to get your foot all the way back. It's just to do this little pumping movement. All right, shake out that leg, and let's try the other one. So the reason this is so effective is because the hamstrings are doing two things at once here, right? They're lifting the leg and helping to push back. So you can really, a little goes a long way here. Oops. Try to get that back to 90 degrees. Pull the belly button in. Great, shake out that leg. Now we're gonna come back, we're gonna do some more split leg. And let's see, I have my right foot back, my left foot forward. And we're gonna start off with them straight, and I'm gonna face you actually so you can see. We really wanna make sure, again, that the hips are going straight. I like to think of the pelvic area, imagine that it is a fishbowl, right? You don't wanna pour the water out. So you're trying to keep it absolutely level. So you may need a wider stance to do that, wherever you need to be. So we're gonna start off, we can come back on the ball of the foot behind, and we'll just do some gentle bending of both knees, bringing the back knee, you're trying to bring that straight down. Make sure you can see your toes in front. You don't want the knee to go over the toe. And breathe. So this is some good work. And let's straighten and change legs. So you can do this with both legs or one leg, but whenever we have the legs split open, make sure that the hips aren't going off to the side. Straight ahead and straight up. So let's bend, straighten, and don't forget to breathe here. Bend, straighten, try to keep everything. One thing that you can do is you can take your thumb and put it here in the hip crease and kind of pull that back to make sure that you're not opening out that way. So the hips are on the same line, straight ahead. Great, stretch that out. Now we're gonna come into a down dog. So see how far you can do this and be safe and comfortable. So you're gonna bring the legs out, and then you're going to pull the belly button in. We're gonna hinge at the hips, and you're gonna try to come into an absolutely flat back. As you take a breath in and out. So you're really stretching out that back. Bring the hips back to the opposite side of the wall. Use the chair for support and have the hands reaching out. So it's like someone is grabbing your hips and pulling you back, and grabbing your hands, pulling you forward. Come out of this at any time. If you need to, let's bend both knees and walk back up. Great. So now we're going to do some balancing poses. So I'll bring my right foot forward, left foot back, and we want them parallel, hips level. So it's like your hip, these are your headlights. You want them going straight ahead. Get your fishbowl nice and straight. And what the idea of this exercise, as I said, it's balancing. We're gonna try to distribute the weight equally between both feet. So again, this is one of those that's a lot easier than it looks. So make sure you're not turning the hips straight ahead, and you don't want to let all your weight be on the front foot or the back foot, right in between. So your center of gravity goes straight down. And just take some nice deep breaths. Let's go in and out. Pull that belly button in. Everything is nice. Ears over, shoulders over, hips. All right, let's change feet. Right back, left forward. And if you need a wider stance, do whatever stance you need. And now let's work on equally distributing our weight, pulling straight up, hips straight forward. And breathe. So if you're wobbling a little bit, that's actually really good, because what you do here, as you adjust yourself, you're working those little muscles of the ankle, and that's what's going to keep you from falling. So strengthening those, the wobbling is a good thing. You're adjusting yourself, strengthening the ankles. All right, let's try that again. And here's another variation. If this one was good, if you felt like this was a challenge, then stay here. If that wasn't enough of a challenge, then you can bring the feet together on the same plane. This is a little bit harder for keeping your hips forward. So if the only way you could stand like this is to open the hips, then don't do it. Then you want to do this again. But if this works, and it's a good challenge, you can use the chair for support. And again, we're going to try to have our weight go right, center of gravity right down in between the 2 feet. And breathe in and out. Before the days of breathalyzers, right, this is what the police would do to see if you were drunk, right? Could you walk a straight line? So this isn't easy. Breathe in, out, hips straight. Great. Shake it out. And let's do the opposite side. And we'll balance there in between each foot. Belly button in. And the tailbone's going straight down in between the feet. Excellent. All right, let's turn the chair back around and we're going to come back down to sitting. And we're going to do a little something more for the big muscles of our legs. So we're going to turn in the chair, and you're going to make a 90-degree angle with this foot in front. And then this one is going to come back. And what we're going to do is we're going to tap in front, tap in back. You can use the chair for support. Really want to pull in the belly button, and we still want to keep those hips going forward. So we're not opening out in this exercise. So you have to sit where you can keep the hips level, going in the same direction, and it's tap, 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 tap. Again, using those big muscles, so this is a little more strenuous than it looks. All right, let's stop there, and now we're going to do the arm. So we're going to look forward as the arm comes in front. We're going to look at it, if you can, as it goes in back. If that's not comfortable, then don't turn your neck. You can keep your head in front, if that's better. But we're still going to try to keep those hips in. When we go back, we're not opening the hips. So forward, back, forward, and back. So leave your arm forward and tap in the back. Bring the arm back, tap in the front. Bring the arm forward, bring the arm back. So this is coordination as well as working the muscles. So make sure you're breathing and just do a couple of these at your own pace. Try to keep those hips going forward. Excellent. now we're gonna stretch the quad, and we're gonna take this outer foot and bring it back wherever it's comfortable, and we're pointing the knee towards the earth. So only do what's comfortable. Take some big deep breaths. We still have the hips going forward, and see if you can, you might even do the flat of the front of your foot, and just slide the foot back, relax it only as far as it will go. And we're just working on a stretch here. You could even take this hand, put it on the outside of the bent knee for some support, as well as the chair. So we're just bringing this, you're trying to get the knee pointed towards the floor, but if that's not available, anything that creates a stretch for you is perfect. And let's take a couple breaths in and out here. And bring both feet back. Now we're going to sit on the chair. I told you we do another twist towards the end, and so that's what we're going to do. Sitting sideways, we're going to take our hands on the back of the chair, and we're going to do a gentle stretch. So we're going to keep the hips pointing forwards. We're going to grab the chair and just look behind you. You can use the chair as a little bit of leverage, but relax into it. We're not pulling into a twist. We're relaxing into a twist. And if you need to come out of it at any time, do so. All right, excellent. So now we're going to do all of that on the other side. So we'll start with our taps. Tap forward. And I'm going to scoot out a little bit. Tap forward, tap back, tap forward, tap back. Belly button in, hips straight. Putting your hand on your hip is also good. You can use the back of the chair for some support. Move arms forward, arms back, forward, back, forward, back. As we have the arm forward, tap back, arms back, forward, back, forward, back. So we're really using all those muscles on the side of our body. So this is where you might feel, right, it's a little harder to talk, but you shouldn't be like winded or sweating or panting. If so, lower it. Just come back down. Do whatever works for you in this position. All right, excellent. So now we're gonna, again, stretch the quad, the front of the thigh. So just slide this foot back, relax it. Hips are going forward. And only come back as far as is comfortable. If it's here, if you feel a nice stretch, then that's as far back as you go. If you'd rather be on your toes, that's fine too. I like to slide. And take some nice deep breaths in, excuse me, in and out here. And we're moving the knee in the direction of the floor. Doesn't have to get there. Much more important to have your alignment. And let's just take some nice breaths in and out. Make sure you're not spilling water out of your goldfish bowl. Excellent, and come back. And now we're gonna do that twist on the other side. So we're sitting here comfortably. You're gonna take both hands on the back of the chair and just relax into this twist. So you're not straining, you're not pushing into it. Relax all those muscles. that. Since we've done a lot of work on the legs and hip flexors, we're going to do a stretch for that too. And we're going to start with our right leg and just cross at the ankle. And the idea, you may need to come over out a little further on your chair. We're letting this right hip just open up. And then we're going to come into a flat back, so belly button to the spine, and we're going to go over in a flat back. And only come over as far as you can. You can use your hand here on your leg for support. Pull in those core muscles. Don't use the lower back. Relax this and come back up. Now you should feel that in the hips. If you don't, if you're able, you can bring the ankle up to your knee. If in order to do this you have to bend over or get out of alignment in any way, then you don't want to do it, right? Because that's defeating the purpose. So you could either be here, and you only want to be here if you're pain-free, and you can sit up nice and straight. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And we're going to go over flat back again. And I don't go very far here, maybe just a couple inches, and I really feel that stretch here in my hips. So this is as far as I want to go. The only reason to go farther is if you're not feeling a stretch. So whenever you feel a stretch, that's where you want to just hold it, relax it. Breathe in. On the exhale, imagine your breath going into any place where you feel any tightness. So this is what's called a passive stretch. So you could put your hand or your elbow, not on the knee, but above the knee, just for some gentle weight, or just letting the hip open. We're not putting any pressure. You're relaxing into it. And we're moving forwards. You're not moving, rounding the back with pressure in the lower back. We're moving forward with a nice flat back. So when you get to this point, as far as you can go, now you can round over, but again, remember you're going forwards, so you don't want any pressure on the back. You can rest your elbows on your leg, and you can let the head drop. And just relax here. Maybe shake the head yes or no. Nice deep breath in. No pressure on the back. You've got your weight in your arms. And then put the hands on the legs to come back up. And let's switch. So either come down here to go over, or come up here, whichever works for you. Nice deep breath in. We go over flat back. Each exhale, we send that breath any place where you feel any tension. Really feel those muscles just relax. We've been working them hard. And when you get to where you're as far as you can go over flat back, you can keep the weight in your arms, and you can gently bring the chest forward and relax the head over. Nice deep breath in and out. No pressure in the lower back. Excellent. So you now use your hands to lift back up, undo the legs, shake those out. Do a little windshield wiper here. And that should all feel good. All right. So we can't forget the hands. Let's bring our arms out And let's do some gentle circles, nice and slow, with our hands. So we're doing just what we did with our ankles. Let's go the other way. Great. And then we're gonna flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point. And now only do this if it feels good. We're gonna, so you're bending, the fingers of the right hand are going up, and you're just gonna gently relax that back. If you feel any twinge, if you had carpal tunnel, you probably don't wanna do this. You should only do this if it feels good. Go the other way. This is very gentle pressure, very gentle. Just stretching out the muscles of the forearm. Let's try the other side. Gently press back. No pain, no twinges. And forwards. Nice and relaxed. Shake that out. And then we'll do a little bit for dexterity. So we're gonna touch each finger to our thumb, and you do that as quickly as you can without missing a finger. So we're just working on that dexterity, something that can be difficult as we get older. So when we think about exercising, we don't often think about the hands, but they're absolutely vital. All right, shake that out. Maybe give yourself a little hand massage. Use the thumb. Just kind of rub there. We definitely want to treat our hands well. All right, shake that out. Okay, so we're going to come into our final Shavasana. We're going to end just as we began, so sit back in your chair. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And now just focus on your breath. Relax all your muscles. You can have your hands hanging or on your legs. You can let the legs fall open. And feel all the tension just come out, flow out of your temples. Imagine someone's giving you a massage on the temples, or give it to yourself. Make little circles. Relax the jaws. All the tension flows out. Feel your eyes heavy in your hand. The hands are heavy and warm. Maybe bring the chin just down a little bit to relax the back of your neck. And relax those shoulders. Feel the legs heavy, warm and relaxed. And the same for your feet and ankles. And just take a couple seconds of silence here. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Let's do one final big inhale. The biggest you've done all the day, all the way up to the top. And let it all out. And bring your hands into prayer position. Thank you so much for being here today and joining us. Bring our thumbs to our head to remind us to have an open mind. Thumbs to the heart for an open heart. Namaste. And remember, in-person chair yogas every Friday at 10:30 at LPC. So I hope you enjoy this and that we'll see you again. Bye.